Chosen one, listen to me right now. April 28, 29, and 30 are not 3 ordinary days on the calendar. God has marked these 3 days, and what is being decided over your life inside this window will quietly determine the shape of your next 7 years. If you ignore what I am about to say, you may not feel the cost tomorrow, and you may not feel it next month, but you will feel it. The doors that open during this prophetic window were not opened by your effort, and they will not stay open forever. You did not arrive here by accident. The reason you are still listening, while everyone else has already moved on, is because something deep inside you already recognizes what these 3 dates mean. So, stop everything, sit down, lower the noise around you. There is a warning, and there is an instruction, and the window is moving as we speak. This is not a casual message. What I am about to say matters. I am going to be precise with you, because you do not have time for vague messages. There are doors in this window that open once. 3 doors, 3 days. April 28 is 1 door. April 29 is the 2nd. April 30 is the 3rd. And it does not matter whether you are watching this in the hour before the first door opens, or in the middle of the 2nd day, or near the close of the 3rd. The message is the same. You are inside the window now. You are not approaching it from the outside. You are not watching it from a distance. The window is around you, whether you have noticed yet or not. Some of you have been bracing for this for weeks. You did not know what you were bracing for. You only knew that something inside you went quiet, the way a room goes quiet just before something important is said. Some of you have been carrying a tiredness that does not match the work you have done. Some of you have been waking at hours your body never used to wake at. Some of you have been crying without warning, laughing without warning, and feeling things you cannot name without warning. None of that is random. The Father has been preparing you for this exact window for longer than you realize, and He has chosen this hour, this exact moment, to interrupt you, not because you are lost, because you are close. The closest a chosen one ever gets to a door is the moment before it opens, and that is exactly where you are. I want you to do something for me before I go deeper. Wherever you are right now, whether you are alone in your bedroom, sitting in your car before going inside, or laying on the couch after a day that asked too much of you, I want you to take one slow breath. Not a deep one, a slow one. Let the air enter you, the way the Father has been entering your awareness for the last few weeks, quietly, without announcement, without permission requested, just present. Because what is happening inside this 72-hour window is not loud, it is not theatrical. It is not the kind of breakthrough that comes with thunder and trumpets. It is the kind that arrives in the smallest hour of the day, when no one else is watching, and rearranges your whole life before sunrise. That is the kind of breakthrough God has reserved for you. So, before I name the signs that are confirming this is your window, before I show you the dual root cause that has held you back for years, before I open the 3 doors in front of you, I want you to settle into the seat where you are. This is going to take time. This is not a 5-minute message. The Father has given me a lot to say, and you have already proven, by still being here, that you are the kind of chosen one who stays. And before I move you into the deeper part of this, I want to acknowledge something. You probably did not expect to be sat down like this today. You probably opened this message out of curiosity, or because the title disturbed something in you, or because something interrupted the routine of your evening at an hour when you had nothing else demanding your attention. But the Father uses every door, including the curious one. The curious one is sometimes the only one that is unguarded. So if you came here curious, that is fine. Curiosity was the doorway. The message was waiting on the other side of it. Everything I am about to share with you in this message is free. If, at any point, your spirit tells you there is more you need, the path is open in the description and the pinned comment below. Don't click until you feel led. Before I take you deeper, I want to be direct with you about what is in this message. By the end of what I share, I will name the dual root cause behind why these 3 days are the window. I will name the 2 specific things in you that have been suppressed for years and are now being restored. I will walk you through what God said about each of the 3 doors. I will share what has helped nearly 40,000 other chosen ones cross thresholds like this one, and I will close with a sealing declaration over your life. If you stay, you will not leave the same. If you cannot stay all at once, return to it, but return. So, let me show you what God has been doing in your behavior, in your body, and in your heart over the last 6 months. Not for years, not for your whole life, the last 6 months. Because that is where the preparation has been concentrated, even if it has felt scattered to you. I want you to think about where you are right now. Maybe you are sitting in a chair you sat in 2 years ago, but the chair feels different now. Maybe you are in a kitchen that used to be loud with people who are no longer there. Maybe you are alone in a room and the silence is no longer empty, the way silence used to be empty before. Notice the change. Notice that the rooms in your life have started to feel like they are holding more than themselves. This is not in your imagination. The atmosphere of your life has been shifting because you have been shifting. The people around you have not noticed yet, but you have noticed. You have caught yourself looking at your own hands and not recognizing the season they are in. You have caught yourself in the middle of conversations and feeling like the conversation was happening to someone else. You have caught yourself driving home and forgetting the route you have driven 1,000 times. These are not signs that you are losing it. These are signs that you are coming home to a version of yourself that has been asleep for a long time. And the Father, who has been watching this whole becoming, is the one who scheduled the awakening for these 3 days. You will find, over the next few hours, that some of what I describe lands in you immediately, and some of it does not land until tomorrow morning, when you are doing something ordinary and the words come back to you. That delay is normal. Some truths arrive in the Spirit on the timeline the Spirit chooses. Do not panic if a section of this message does not move you in the moment. The Father plants seeds at different depths. The deeper the seed, the longer before it surfaces. Trust the depth at which it lands in you. I am about to walk you through 5 signs that have been showing up in the last 6 months. Some of them you will recognize immediately. Some of them you will not have words for until I name them. I want you to do me one favor. As I name each one, do not analyze whether it is happening to you. Just let your spirit answer first. Spirit answers faster than mind. If your spirit jumps when I name a sign, that is the signal. Do not argue it back into doubt afterward. This is not a personality test, chosen one. This is not a list of vague spiritual symptoms designed to make you feel special. These 5 signs are specific, and they have been documented in the lives of hundreds of chosen ones who reached out to me after similar messages, found them at similar windows. The pattern is real. The pattern is yours, and once you see it named clearly, you will not be able to unsee it. The first sign is the way your sleep has changed in the last few months. You used to sleep through the night, or close to it. Now you are waking. Not at random hours, but at the same hours, repeating week after week. 3 in the morning, 4:15, the exact same number on the clock, 3 or 4 nights in a row. You are not waking because of a nightmare. You are not waking because of stress. You are simply awake with no obvious reason, and your body refuses to settle back into sleep for a full half hour, sometimes longer. When you sit up and look at the clock, Something inside you recognizes the time before your mind has fully caught up. There is a feeling, soft but unmistakable, that someone is calling you, even though no one in the house has spoken. You check the time, you drink water, you sit on the edge of the bed, and you are not afraid. You are listening. This is not insomnia, chosen one. The body that has been broadcasting stress signals for years does not suddenly start waking you at the same number, the same hour, by accident. Insomnia is chaotic. What you are experiencing is the opposite of chaos. It is rhythm, it is timing, it is precision. What is happening is this. The Father speaks most clearly in the hours when daylight is too noisy to penetrate. He has been waiting for the part of you that is buried under noise during the day to surface in the only window where it can rise. That window is the early morning, before the world wakes up. That is why you keep waking, not because something is wrong with your body, because something is right with your spirit, and your spirit is rising at the only hour your spirit can be heard. The timing of these wake-ups is not random. The number on the clock is not random. Some of you have been waking at 3. 3 is the number that has marked these days. Some of you have been waking at 4:15 or at 4:44. Pay attention to the number that has been repeating. That number is not noise. That number is a marker. The Father marks the path with numbers when he cannot get the rest of your attention any other way. The second sign is the way your emotions have been moving without your permission. You will be doing something ordinary, washing dishes, driving home, sitting at your desk in the middle of an unremarkable hour, and a wave will rise inside you that has no source you can name. Sometimes it is sadness. Sometimes it is a peace so deep it feels foreign. Sometimes it is a hope you do not trust because you cannot trace where it came from. And sometimes all three move through you in a single afternoon. You have tried to explain this to yourself. You have searched for the reason. You have wondered if you are starting to lose stability because the version of you from a year ago did not feel things this freely without warning. But nothing happened. No one said anything. No song played that should have moved you. You were not thinking about anyone in particular. The wave just arrived, and the wave was not yours to invite or refuse. This is not instability, chosen one. This is not a sign that something is wrong with your nervous system. This is the soul reordering its house before the new season arrives. You have lived in one configuration of yourself for so long that you have forgotten the soul has the authority to rearrange itself. It is rearranging now. The old furniture is being moved out. Spaces in you that have been closed are being opened. Spaces that have been overflowing are being given room to breathe. And the only signal you receive, while this rearrangement is happening underneath your awareness, is the rise and fall of these emotional waves. The waves are not interruptions. The waves are the work being done. The Father is allowing the inner architecture of your life to shift, and shifts of that magnitude cannot happen quietly. They have to move through your emotions, because emotions are the language the body uses prepared. The waves are not the breakthrough. The waves are the room being made for the breakthrough. The third sign is the quiet death of your old comforts. The shows you used to watch feel hollow now. The conversations you used to have feel rehearsed, like everyone is reading from a script that was written before you started changing. The hobbies that used to fill the space inside your week feel like they belong to a person you are no longer becoming. You sit down to do the thing you used to love, and 10 minutes in, you realize you are doing it out of habit, not out of joy. You have not become depressed. Depression is the absence of feeling. What you have is the opposite. You are feeling more, not less. You are feeling so much more that the old shallow comforts cannot hold what you are now able to hold. The container is too small for the water. The water is rising. The container is being asked to either grow or be set aside. This is the inner compass, turning toward what comes next. The Father is loosening your grip on the old life by making the old life feel ill-fitting. He is not punishing you for outgrowing your past. He is making the outgrowing visible to you, so you do not waste the next 3 days trying to fit yourself back into a shape you no longer occupy. I want to say this carefully, chosen one. The detachment you are feeling from your old routines is not betrayal of the people you used to share them with. It is not arrogance. It is not you becoming cold. It is simply that the old version of you was a smaller container, and the new version is a larger one, and the old activities cannot hold the new shape of your spirit anymore. Some of you are in mourning right now, mourning a version of yourself you actually loved, mourning conversations that no longer feel real, mourning the lightness you used to feel when you walked into your favorite places before they started feeling foreign. That mourning is sacred. Honor it. Do not rush past it. The Father is not moving you out of the old life by force. He is moving you out by making the old life quietly stop fitting. That is mercy, not loss. The mercy is that He has not asked you to walk out of the old life dramatically. He has only asked you to notice that you have already started walking, and to keep walking in the direction your spirit is already turned. Take a slow breath here, chosen one. We are halfway through the signs. You are doing well. If 2 of the 3 I just named have already landed in your spirit, that is enough confirmation that this message is for you. Some of you have been holding tears for the last 15 minutes. Let them come. They are not weakness. They are the part of you that has finally been seen by language, and tears are how the soul confirms it has been heard. Stay with me. 2 more signs to go before the deeper layer. The 4th sign is the way certain numbers, certain names, certain phrases keep finding you. You have been noticing this. You have been keeping a quiet mental list, even if you have not written it down, of the things that keep arriving across unrelated places in your life. The same hour appearing across the same day. The same word landing in 3 conversations from 3 people who do not know each other. The same scripture, the same song, the same image showing up in places you did not expect. You have started to wonder if you are imagining it. You have started to wonder if you are pattern-seeking, the way the mind sometimes does when it is looking for meaning that is not actually there. So, let me be direct with you. You are not imagining it. You are not seeking patterns. You are recognizing patterns that were placed in your path on purpose. Heaven leaves fingerprints, chosen one. The Father does not write His messages in skywriting. He writes them in the small repetitions that only the people He is speaking to will notice. Anyone else looking at the same week of your life would see nothing. They would walk past the clock at 3:33 and not see what you saw. They would hear the same word from 3 people and forget it by the end of the day. You are the only one who sees the pattern because the pattern is for you. The repetitions you have noticed in the last few weeks are not coincidence. The numbers are markers. The names are confirmations. The phrases are quiet sentences from the Father landing in unrelated mouths because He wanted you to hear them said back to you from multiple directions. He does this when the message is so important that one delivery is not enough. He delivers it 3 times, 4 times, from 3 different people, in 3 different settings, until you cannot keep dismissing it as random. So, if you have been ignoring the patterns, stop, take them seriously. The numbers that have been repeating in your week are not background noise. They are the path being lit ahead of you, one quiet marker at a time. The window of these 3 days is the moment the path becomes visible enough to walk. Until now, you have been walking it in the dark, and the markers have been the only light. Pay attention. The Father has not been silent. He has been speaking in the language he chose, and you have been hearing it. Tonight, name what you have been hearing. Tonight, do not dismiss it again. The fifth sign is the texture of your dreams in the last several weeks. They are not the random kind anymore. They are not the surreal, scrambled images you used to forget by the time you reached the bathroom in the morning. They are sharp. They are specific. They have edges that ordinary dreams do not have. You wake remembering them with a clarity that feels almost intrusive, the way some memories from childhood are clearer than memories from last week. Some of you have been waking with a single sentence in your mouth, a sentence you did not think before falling asleep, a sentence that arrives like it was placed there by a hand that is not yours. You have been writing them down, or trying to. You have been turning them over during the day, and they have not faded the way ordinary thoughts fade. Some of you have been seeing the same place in your dreams across multiple nights, the same building, the same hallway, the same body of water, and the place is not from your memory. You have never been there in waking life, but you have been there in dreams enough times now that you could draw it. Some of you have been seeing people you do not know, strangers with specific faces, specific voices, who speak to you in the dream as if you have always known each other. You wake remembering their voices. You wake remembering exactly what they said. This is not random dreaming, chosen one. The Father uses sleep because sleep is the only hour when your defenses are down. During the day, your mind filters everything. It filters out the still, small voice. It filters out the strange knowings. It filters out the inner sense that something is shifting, because the mind has been trained, by years of stress, to filter out anything that cannot be immediately useful. But at night, the filters drop, and the things the Father has been wanting to deliver for months arrive in the only language that bypasses the filter, which is the language of dream. So, write them down. The sentences you have been waking with, the places you have been visiting, the faces you cannot forget. Write them down without trying to interpret them yet. The Father is delivering information that is going to make sense over the next 3 days, but only if you have written it down before the meaning arrives. Most chosen ones forget the dream by lunch and then wonder why the answer never came. The answer was in the dream. They forgot the dream. Do not let yourself forget. Tonight, before you sleep, place a notebook by the bed. Whatever arrives, capture it. Heaven is delivering. If even 3 of those 5 signs landed in your spirit just now, if you recognized yourself in 3 or more of them, I want you to do one small thing before I go further. Do not say anything out loud. Do not move from where you are. Just open the comments below this message and type 3 words. I see it, not as performance, not because anyone is watching. Type it as agreement. Type it as your spirit telling itself that it has been seen and that what it has been carrying without language has finally been named. 3 words. I see it. The reason I am asking you to do this is because something inside you needs to confirm to itself, in writing, that you are not making this up. The pattern is real. The window is real. The signs are real. Typing the agreement seals the recognition. From this point forward in this message, you are not a curious viewer. You are a chosen one who has acknowledged what is happening. The rest of what I am about to share is for the ones who acknowledged. Stay with me. And to those of you who did not type anything because 3 signs did not land for you, but 2 did, you are still in the right place. Some chosen ones come to messages like this one ahead of schedule. Some come right on time. Some come in the last hour. The Father knows which one you are. The signs that did land are enough. The ones that have not landed yet may land tomorrow morning, or in the middle of the next day, or somewhere on the other side of door 2. Do not measure your readiness by how many signs you have caught so far. Measure it by whether you are still listening, and you are. These 5 signs are real. They are happening to you, and I want you to feel the relief of having them named, because for months you have been carrying them without language, and now you have the language. But these signs are not the message itself. They are the envelope. The letter inside the envelope is the part I have not shown you yet. The signs tell you the window is open. The signs do not tell you what is inside the window. They do not tell you why these 3 specific days. They do not tell you the dual root cause behind why your life has felt half restored for so long. They do not tell you what God specifically said about each of the 3 doors. That is what comes next. Stay with me. The envelope is opened. The letter is about to be read. I told you at the beginning of this message that there are 3 doors in this window: April 28, April 29, April 30, 3 days, 3 doors. And what is behind each of them is specific. It is not vague. It is not generic. It is not a one-size-fits-all spiritual concept the Father throws at every chosen one who happens to be listening at the right time. What is behind these 3 doors is a portion of your life that has been waiting to be released. And the Father has organized that release into 3 distinct categories, each one mapped to one of the 3 days. I am going to name them now, briefly, because I am going to walk you through each of them in detail later in this message. The first door is the relational door. April 28 is the day God opens the relational reorganization. People who were never going to belong in this next season will exit. People who were chosen to walk with you in the season ahead will arrive. Some of the exits will be loud, some of them will be quiet. Some of the arrivals will look like coincidences at first, and only later will you realize they were assignments. The second door is the calling door. April 29 is the day God names the assignment. For some of you, the assignment is something you have suspected for years and have been afraid to claim. For others, the assignment is something you have been doing all along without realizing it had a name. For others still, the assignment is something brand new, something you could not have predicted, that arrives this week in a sentence from someone you did not expect to hear from. The third door is the resource door. April 30 is the day God releases provision in the form He chose, not in the form you wrote down in your prayer journal. Some of you will receive money you were not waiting for. Some of you will receive forgiveness of debts you thought would follow you for years. Some of you will receive an opportunity that is worth more than money, an opportunity you would not have received if your hands had still been gripping the resource you were trying to manufacture on your own. 3 doors, 3 days, 3 categories. And here is the part most messages never tell you. The doors do not open at random. They open in order. You cannot kick down door 2 if door 1 is still locked. You cannot rush to door 3 if door 2 has not been opened. The Father is moving in sequence, and the sequence matters. That is why I told you, at the start of this message, that ignoring this window will quietly cost you. The cost is not just one closed door. The cost is the whole sequence collapsing. If you miss door 1, you do not get a second chance at the relational reorganization in this window. The relational reorganization is what makes door 2 possible, and door 2 is what makes door 3 possible. Let me make this as concrete as I can for you. If God reorganizes your relationships on the first day, but you spend that day arguing with someone the Father is removing from your life, you have wasted the relational door. The exit will still happen, but you will have used the day He wanted you to spend in stillness on a fight that was already decided. If you do not realize calling clarity arrives on the second day, because you spent the second day catching up on the work you missed during the first day's drama, the calling will speak in a sentence you will not be free enough to hear. By the third day, the resource door opens, and your hands are too tired and too full of the previous day's damage to receive what was being released. That is the cost. The cost is not punishment. The cost is the natural consequence of being unprepared for a sequence that was supposed to flow through you cleanly. So before I show you what God said specifically about each door, I have to show you the dual root cause that has been keeping these doors closed in your life for years. There are two specific things in you that have been suppressed for so long you forgot they were there. The Father is restoring both of them inside this window, in order, the same way the doors open in order. That is what comes next. Stay close, chosen one. The diagnosis has 3 angles, and you have only seen one of them. Before I take you into the second angle, I want you to pause with me. You have been listening for a long time now. Your body has settled into whatever seat it is in. Your breath has slowed down without you noticing. Something inside you has already started rearranging, even though I have only shown you one part of what is happening. Before we go deeper, I want you to do nothing for a moment. Nothing to receive. Nothing to release. Just be here. Take one breath. Slow. Not deep. Slow. Some of you have been holding the message tightly, like you are afraid it will slip away if you stop concentrating. Loosen the grip. The message will not run from you. The Father did not send something this specific to your awareness only to take it back if you breathe wrong. He sent it because he knew you would be here, in this exact posture, at this exact hour, and he has prepared a soft place for you to land inside it, so land, just for a few seconds. The first angle of the diagnosis was behavioral. The signs in your sleep, your emotions, your old comforts dying, the patterns repeating, the dreams arriving sharper than ordinary dreams. That was the surface. That was what is happening on the outside of you, in the parts of your life. Other people might also notice if they knew where to look. The second angle is emotional, and the second angle is harder because no one else can see it. The second angle is what is happening in your heart while everything on the outside looks ordinary. I want to name 3 emotions that have been moving through you in this season, and I want you to notice that I am naming them in the order the Father is moving you through them. The Father does not ask you to feel everything at once. He moves you through the heavy emotions in sequence, the same way the doors in this window open in sequence. So, let me name them in order, and you will recognize where you are in the sequence as I go. The first emotion is guilt. Not the obvious kind, not the guilt of doing something wrong. This is a quieter guilt. This is the guilt of growing past people who only knew the smaller version of you. This is the guilt of not being as available as you used to be. This is the guilt of saying no to invitations you would have said yes to a year ago without being able to explain why you can no longer say yes. This is the guilt of pulling away from conversations that used to feel normal and now feel draining. This is the guilt of becoming someone your old life was not built to hold. You have been carrying this guilt for months, and you have not had words for it. You have wondered if you are becoming cold. You have wondered if the people who used to be close to you are right when they say you have changed. They are right. You have changed. But the change is not the betrayal they think it is. The change is the becoming the Father has been doing in you, and the guilt you are feeling is the cost of becoming visible to yourself before you become visible to them. Hear me on this, chosen one. You are allowed to outgrow people who only knew the old you. You are allowed to outgrow obligations that were never yours in the first place. You are allowed to outgrow rooms you used to be the loudest one in. You are allowed to outgrow versions of yourself you have already buried, even if other people keep trying to bring those versions back to life by talking to you the way they used to. You are allowed to protect what God is rebuilding inside you. You are allowed to be quiet about it. You are allowed to keep some of what is happening sacred, even from the people who think they have a right to know everything about you. And you do not owe anyone an apology for becoming who you were always meant to be. The second emotion is fear, not fear of failing. The fear you are carrying right now is the opposite. It is the fear of succeeding. It is the fear of breakthrough. It is the fear of being seen. It is the fear of becoming the person you have been quietly hoping to become for years. Because if you become her, if you become him, you will have to stand in a room you are not sure you know how to stand in. You have been bracing against this fear without naming it. You have been almost applying for the thing, almost saying yes to the opportunity, almost stepping forward and pulling back at the last moment because something inside you whispered, "What if you get there and they find out you do not belong? What if the door opens and you walk through and the room you wanted is bigger than the room you fit in? What if the breakthrough requires a version of you that you have not finished becoming yet?" Listen to me carefully. That fear is not weakness. That fear is wisdom. The chosen ones who have crashed in their breakthrough were the ones who had no fear because they had no awareness of the weight of what they were stepping into. You have the awareness. You can feel the weight. The fact that you are afraid of the door opening means you understand the door is real. The unafraid chosen ones are not actually braver than you. They are just less aware. Your awareness is the proof that you are ready to carry what is on the other side. The fear you have been calling weakness is actually the inner wisdom, checking the load before lifting it. That is the right way to approach a door this size. Be afraid. Walk through anyway. The walking through is what the Father has been preparing you for. The walking through is not done by removing the fear. It is done by carrying the fear across the threshold and letting it dissolve on the other side. The third emotion is grief. And this grief is the strangest of the three, because it is grief for a future that has not happened yet. You are grieving the version of your life you are about to leave. Not the bad parts, the familiar parts, the morning routines that will not survive the breakthrough, the relationships that have been good enough but that the Father is asking you to outgrow because good enough is no longer enough. The version of yourself who could hide in plain sight, who could stay small, who could blend in, who could keep the peace by keeping quiet. That version of you is dying inside this window, and a part of your heart is holding her funeral while the rest of you is being asked to step forward. You are allowed to grieve her. The grief is not regression, the grief is honor. The Father does not ask you to walk away from your old self, pretending she did not exist. He asks you to honor her, thank her for keeping you alive long enough to reach this door, and let her rest. The grief is the honoring. Do not skip it. Some of you have been wondering, in the middle of moments that should feel hopeful, why a strange sadness keeps rising. It is not depression. It is not ingratitude. It is the goodbye your soul is conducting in advance for the life you are about to leave behind. Honor it. The Father is not embarrassed by your grief. He is patient with it. The window is wide enough to hold both your stepping forward and your saying goodbye to who you were. There is a story I want to tell you now, because you need to know that you are not the first chosen one to stand in a 3-day window like this one. You are not even the 100th. There is a woman named Esther whose entire life turned on a 3-day window, and what she did inside that window has something to teach you about what you are about to do inside yours. Esther was a chosen one. She did not look like a chosen one on the surface. She was an orphaned girl, raised by her cousin in a foreign empire, far from the place her people came from. By circumstances she did not engineer, she found herself married to a king, and then a moment came when her people were threatened with destruction, and the only person in the kingdom positioned to speak on their behalf was her. The problem was, you did not just walk into the king's presence in those days. Even if you were the queen, the king had to summon you. If you walked in uninvited and he did not extend his scepter, you died on the spot. So Esther had a choice: stay silent, save herself, and let her people perish, or walk into the throne room uninvited, risk her life, and try to save them. Most people remember the part where Esther walked in and the king extended his scepter, the dramatic part, the breakthrough part. But the part most people forget is the 3 days that came before that walk. 3 days, chosen one. Esther did not march into the throne room the moment the assignment landed on her. She fasted for 3 days first. No food, no water, no conversation. Just stillness. In a room, with her household around her also fasting and praying. 3 days of nothing, 3 days of waiting, 3 days of letting the noise inside her quiet down so she could walk into the throne room, not as the trembling orphan, but as the queen the moment was asking her to be. Hear what I am saying. The 3 days were not about the food. The 3 days were about identity alignment before crossing a threshold that could end her or save a nation. Esther needed 3 days to become, on the inside, the person the kingdom required her to be on the outside. The fast was not deprivation. The fast was the workshop in which her identity was forged into the shape the throne room demanded. You are inside your 3 days right now. The Father has not given them to you to rush through. He has given them to you to be still in. Do not make Esther's 3 days the part of the story you skip past. Most chosen ones want the throne room without the fast. They want the breakthrough without the becoming. But the becoming is what makes the breakthrough survivable. Without the 3 days, Esther walks into the throne room and dies. With the 3 days, she walks in and saves a generation. The difference is what happened in the silence beforehand. So, if you have been frustrated that the first day of this window has not been dramatic, that the second day has not produced visible results, that you have been mostly sitting alone with your thoughts while the world outside has continued unchanged, do not interpret the stillness as the window failing you. The stillness is the window working on you. The drama is on the other side of the stillness. The throne room is on the other side of the fast. If something inside you just confirmed that, if your spirit lifted when I named what Esther's 3 days were really doing, I want you to type 2 words into the comments below. I receive. Not because anyone is asking you to. Type it because your spirit just received something it has been waiting for permission to receive. And naming the receiving in writing is how the soul confirms it has accepted the gift. 2 words. I receive. I want to take you somewhere now that most messages do not go. I want to show you a word from the original language of Scripture, because the language we speak today flattens what the original language preserved. There are 2 words in the Greek New Testament that both translate to the English word time, but they do not mean the same thing. And once you see the difference between them, you will understand why these 3 specific days are different from every other 3 days in your year. The first word is chronos. That is where we get the English word chronological. Chronos is the time of the clock, the time of the calendar, the time that ticks forward at the same speed every day, regardless of what is happening inside it. Most days of your life have been chronos days. They moved at the same pace as the day before, the day after, with nothing distinguishing them except the date stamped at the top. The second word is Kairos. Kairos does not mean the same thing as Chronos. Kairos means the appointed time, the opportune moment, the time you cannot manufacture and cannot recover if you miss it. In the original language, Kairos was the word used when the gods, or when God, was understood to be acting on a specific timetable that overrode the ordinary clock. Kairos is when heaven steps into Earth's calendar and circles a date that everyone else will walk past as just another Tuesday. April 28, 29, and 30 are not Chronos days, chosen one. They are Kairos days. They are not arranged by the rotation of the Earth around the sun. They are arranged by the Father's hand on the calendar of your life. They are circled, they are marked. And Kairos days are not negotiable. They do not extend themselves to accommodate your schedule. They open and they close on the timetable heaven set, not the timetable you would have preferred. This is why every part of your spirit has been bracing for weeks. Your spirit recognized Kairos before your mind named it. Your spirit knew the shape of the appointed time was approaching, even when your mind was still treating these dates like ordinary calendar entries. The bracing was not anxiety. The bracing was your inner being preparing itself for Kairos to arrive. When the Father sets a Kairos window, he does it because the work he is doing inside that window cannot be done at any other time. He waits, sometimes for years, for the conditions in your life to align with the conditions in the heavens until both calendars match, and when they match, he moves. April 28, 29, and 30 are the match. Your inner readiness has met heaven's outer timing, and the doors are open. There is one more story I want to share before I name the dual root cause, because the second story is the one that prepares you to hear what I am about to reveal next. There was a man named Jonah. You know his name. You have heard his story since you were a child, probably told as a children's tale about a man who was swallowed by a fish. But the story is not a children's tale. The story is one of the most precise teachings about 3-day windows in all of Scripture, and it is sitting inside this conversation for a reason. Jonah received an assignment from the Father, and he ran from it. He got on a boat, going in the opposite direction. The Father sent a storm. The sailors threw Jonah overboard. A great fish swallowed him. And Jonah spent 3 days inside the belly of that fish. 3 days. Total darkness. No food, no water, no way out. No idea whether the fish would surface or whether he would die in the dark. And in the middle of those 3 days, something in Jonah broke open that had been sealed shut for years. He prayed, he repented, he remembered who he was sent to be. And on the 3rd day, the fish vomited him out onto dry land, and Jonah went and completed the assignment he had been running from. What I want you to notice is this. The 3 days did not happen because Jonah was righteous. The 3 days happened because Jonah was running. The Father did not send the fish to punish him. The Father sent the fish to give him 3 days of complete dissolution, because 3 days of dissolution were the only space dark enough for Jonah to remember who he was sent to be. Some of you have been running too, chosen one, not from a literal city like Jonah's, from a calling, from a relationship realignment, from a financial truth, from a version of yourself that scares you. And the Father has given you these 3 days the way he gave Jonah his 3 days, not as punishment, as the only space dark enough for the remembering to happen. If the first day of your window has felt like a kind of inner darkness, like everything has gone quiet at once, like you cannot quite locate yourself in your own life, do not panic. That is the belly. The belly is where the becoming happens. Jonah did not become the prophet who saved a city by running. He became the prophet by spending 3 days in the dark, having every distraction stripped away until only the assignment remained. Some restorations require 3 days of stillness before they can be activated. That is the pattern. Esther proved it. Jonah proved it. And if you are willing to stay in the stillness, instead of forcing your way out of it, your 3 days will prove it again. Now I am going to tell you the dual root cause behind why these 3 days are the window. I have been pointing at this since the beginning of the message. I told you, in the hook, that you forgot the sound of something that was suppressed in you. I told you that the Father is restoring something. I told you the diagnosis has 3 angles, and that the third angle is the one that ties everything together. This is that angle. I hear the Father saying clearly, right now, the dates are not the gift. The door inside the dates is the gift, and the door is not opened by your effort. There are 2 specific things in you that have been working against you for years, and the reason every spiritual practice you have ever tried, every breakthrough course, every retreat, every prayer cycle, every fast has only worked partially is because every spiritual practice you have ever tried only addresses one of these 2 things, never both, never in the right order. The first thing is a frequency that is broadcasting from inside you, underneath your awareness, every minute of every day. Modern science has measured it. They call it stress signal hyperactivity. In the language of the spirit, it is the frequency of scarcity. It is the inner broadcast that tells your subconscious mind all day long that you are not safe, that resources are thin, that something is about to go wrong, that you have to brace, that you cannot relax. It runs underneath your awareness. You do not hear it as a sound, you hear it as a feeling. It is the reason your chest feels tight when you wake up. It is the reason you check your bank account 3 times in a row, even when you know nothing has changed. It is the reason you cannot fully receive good news, because you are already bracing for the bad news that must be coming behind it. This frequency has been hijacking the part of your inner life where God speaks. The Father speaks in calm. The Father speaks in stillness. The Father speaks in the open space where your subconscious can actually hear him. But if the frequency of stress is broadcasting all day, every prayer you pray, every visualization you attempt, every word of scripture you try to take in, has to fight through static before it can reach the place inside you where it would actually take root. Most of your prayers have not failed because they were not heard. They have failed because the ground they were planted in was already vibrating at a frequency that prevented planting. That is the first thing. The second thing is harder to name, because it has been suppressed for so long you do not have the language for what it used to be. There is a second frequency in you. This one is not the stress signal. This one is the opposite. This one is the frequency you were born with, the one that was active when you were a child, the one that recognized things before you had words for them, the one that knew, when you were 6 or 7 years old, the difference between a good person and a bad person without being able to explain why. The one that saw the colors of the world more vividly than they look to you now. The one that woke up excited about the day, every day, before the world taught you not to. That frequency has a name. The science calls it the gamma frequency. The spirit knows it by a different name. It is the frequency of recognition. It is the frequency of inner knowing. It is the frequency that lets a chosen one hear the still small voice without straining. It is what let David, as a child shepherd, kill a lion before he was old enough to understand fear. It is what let young Samuel hear his name being called in the temple at night and know it was the Father's voice. It is what every prophet, every seer, every chosen one in Scripture had operating fully when they were young. You had it too, and then the world reached in and dimmed it. The science calls this the decline effect. They have tracked it, they have measured it. They have found that this frequency starts dropping in most children around age 7, and by the time we reach adulthood, it has been so suppressed that we forget it ever existed. We start calling its absence normal. We start thinking the dullness is just maturity. The clarity we had as children, we dismiss as childishness. The vivid inner knowing, we dismiss as imagination. The instinct that used to be sharp, we dismiss as naive. It was not childishness. It was not imagination. It was not naive. It was the frequency of who you actually are. And the world dimmed it, because the world is not built for chosen ones, with both signals fully active. A population with stress, hyperactivity, and gamma suppression is easier to manage, easier to sell to, easier to keep busy, easier to keep distracted from the work the chosen ones were sent to do. That is the dual root cause, chosen one. One signal, hyperactive, one signal, suppressed, both of them measurable, both of them connected to specific parts of your brain. And every spiritual practice you have ever tried has only addressed one of these two signals. Meditation calms stress, sometimes, partially, but meditation does not reactivate gamma. Manifestation work tries to reach the subconscious, but it cannot reach the subconscious if stress hyperactivity is broadcasting static the whole time. Affirmations talk to a mind that is too saturated to absorb them. Prayer tries to land in soil that is vibrating at the wrong frequency to receive seed. This is not your failure. This is the design of every tool you have been given. The tools were built for one signal at a time. The restoration you actually need addresses both, in order. Foundation first, acceleration second, drawbridge first, castle second. What I just described to you, chosen one, the two layers of the root cause, is not a metaphor I made up to make this message poetic. It has been measured, not by spiritual teachers, by neuroscientists. And what they discovered is the reason this message exists in the first place. Brain restoration is a two-stage process. The first stage deactivates the stress signal that has been hijacking your inner frequency for years. The second stage reactivates the gamma frequency that has been suppressed since childhood. They have to be done in order. Foundation before acceleration. The drawbridge has to open before the castle inside it can be illuminated. The first stage tool has a name. It is called the wealth signal, and it was developed by a neuroscientist named Dr. Stephen Newton, who walked away from mainstream institutional research to release it. It is the foundation. It is what calms the stress signal at the level of brain frequency, not just at the level of mood. The second stage tool also has a name. It is called the Genius Song, and it was developed by a different researcher, a man named Dr. Robert Lake, who spent 34 years studying the decline effect. It is the acceleration. It is what reactivates the gamma frequency the world dimmed in you at age 7. Foundation before acceleration, drawbridge before castle. Most of the spiritual tools you have tried target only one stage. That is why most of them have only worked halfway. The two-stage approach is what no single practice has ever offered you, because no single practice was built to address both signals. If your spirit is already pulling toward this, the path is open. The full information is at chosenfrequency.com, in the description and the pinned comment below this message. 3 doors, mirroring the 3 doors of the window we are inside right now. Do not rush. Stay for the full message if you want the context. But if your spirit has already recognized this, you are allowed to begin where you feel led. For those staying with me, here is what comes next. I am going to walk you through what God said about each of the 3 doors: the relational door, the calling door, the resource door. And only after I have walked you through all 3, I will return to the full mechanism behind these 2 tools, the path, and exactly how everything I have shown you tonight comes together. Stay close, chosen one. The diagnosis is complete. The doors are about to open in detail. What I am about to share next is the part of this message that turns the diagnosis into action. You have seen the signs. You have felt the emotions named. You have heard the dual root cause. You know that these 3 days are Kairos, not Chronos. Now, I am going to walk you, slowly, through what God said about each of the 3 doors, what specifically opens behind each of them, and what you are being asked to do and not do inside each one. I want to remind you of something I said earlier in this message, because it is going to matter more in the next 20 minutes than it has mattered yet. The doors do not open at random. They open in order. April 28 is the first door. April 29 is the second. April 30 is the third. You cannot kick down door 2 if door 1 is still locked. You cannot rush to door 3 if door 2 has not been opened. The Father is moving in sequence, and the sequence matters more than the speed. So, if you are watching this in the hour before the first door opens, you have not missed anything. If you are watching this in the middle of the second day, the first door has already done its quiet work in you, even if you did not feel it happen. If you are watching this near the close of the third day, you are not too late. The order is the same regardless of where you entered. The Father did not bring you here at the wrong moment. He brought you here at the moment your spirit could finally hold what he has been waiting to give. The first door is the relational door. The first door is April 28. Behind that door is something the Father has been wanting to do in your relationships for a very long time, but he has not been able to do it because you have been holding the doorframe shut from the inside with both hands without realizing you were holding it. April 28 is the day the Father reorganizes your relational life. People who were never going to belong in this next season will exit. People who were chosen to walk with you in the season ahead will arrive. Some of the exits will be loud. Some of them will be so quiet you will not realize for weeks that the person has stopped reaching for you. Some of the arrivals will look like coincidences at first, the kind of meetings you almost did not show up for, and only later, looking back, will you realize they were assignments dressed in ordinary clothing. I want to tell you what is shifting, what you will feel during the shift, what you must not do during the shift, and what you can trust during the shift. 4 things. Stay with me. What is shifting is the lineup of who walks beside you into the next season of your life. Some of the people you assumed would always be in your inner circle will quietly drift outward. They will not become your enemies. They will simply become further. The conversations will grow shorter. The plans will grow vaguer. The intimacy will thin. And it will not be because either of you did anything wrong. It will be because the version of you they were friends with is no longer the version of you walking forward, and they were friends with that version, not with the version you are becoming. What you will feel during the shift is grief that mimics doubt. You will catch yourself wondering if you did something to push them away. You will catch yourself wanting to text them just to confirm that everything is still fine. You will catch yourself feeling lonely in conversations you used to feel held in. That is not paranoia. That is the relational architecture of your life shifting underneath you, and your nervous system trying to figure out what just changed. The grief is real. Honor it. Do not interpret the grief as evidence that you should reach back and pull the relationship into the new season. The grief is the goodbye, not the warning to undo the goodbye. What you must not do is text the person you keep almost texting. You know who I mean. There is a name floating in your mind right now, maybe 2 names, maybe 3. The Father is moving someone out of your closeness during this window. Do not interfere with that movement. The temptation, when you feel a relationship loosening, is to grip it tighter. The grip is what keeps the old version of the relationship alive past the date the Father had marked for its quiet ending. Let them go without a final fight. Let them go without a long explanation. Some endings do not require closure. Some endings just require absence. The Father will give you the closure later, in a way that does not require their participation. What you can trust is this: the chosen ones, who were chosen to walk with you in the season ahead, are already in motion toward you. Some of them you have not met yet. Some of them you have met, briefly, months ago, and you did not recognize them at the time. Some of them are people who have always been in your life, but in a quieter role, and the Father is about to pull them forward into a role that is much larger. They will arrive. The arrival does not require your effort. The arrival requires your hands to be empty enough to receive them, which is why the Father is loosening your grip on the people who were never meant to be there in this next season. The exit and the arrival are part of the same movement. I want to give you something practical for this first day, because most messages stop at the diagnosis and do not give you a way to walk through it. There is a practice that I have shared with chosen ones for years, and I have watched it work inside windows like this one. It is called the 3-day discernment practice, and the first day of it is the day that is in front of you right now. Here is what most chosen ones get wrong about the relational door. They feel the shifting, and they go into action mode. They start texting people to check in. They start mentally rehearsing conversations. They start trying to engineer reconnections with the ones leaving and reach out to the ones they think are arriving. They make it noisy, and the noise is the exact thing that prevents the door from opening cleanly. The first day of the 3-day discernment practice is counterintuitive, and I am going to tell you what it is, even though some part of you is going to argue with it the moment I say it. The first day, you take no action. I do not mean you sit at home staring at the wall. I mean, you do not initiate any new conversation, you do not make any new commitment, you do not reach out to anyone with the intention of fixing the relational shift, you do not block anyone, you do not cut anyone off, you do not write any long messages, you do not send any apologies you have been drafting, you do not request any explanations, and you do not pursue anyone who is in the process of drifting. None of that. For the first day, you are still. I know that sounds passive. It is not passive. It is the most active spiritual posture there is. Stillness on day 1 is what allows the Father to do the relational reorganization without your interference. Most chosen ones never get a clean reorganization because they keep stepping into the workshop while the work is being done, and they smudge the design every time they reach in. If you are listening to this and you are in the middle of the first day right now, here is what I want you to do instead. Inside your mind, not out loud, I want you to picture 3 names, not a list of people you think you should reconnect with, not a list of people you owe responses to, just 3 names that arrive on their own, when you stop trying to decide who they should be. Let your spirit answer faster than your mind. Whoever the 3 names are, do not message them today. Do not call them today. Just hold the 3 names in your awareness, gently, for the rest of the day. If you have something to write with nearby, you can write the 3 names down. If you do not get up to find a pen. Just hold them in your mind. The names will not run from you. The Father gave them to you for a reason, and the reason will become clear by tomorrow morning. Some of them are people who are exiting, some of them are people who are arriving, some of them are people who are being repositioned. You will know which is which by the 2nd day. Today, the only assignment is to hold them without acting. If your spirit just confirmed one of the names you are holding, if a face came up that surprised you, if a name landed that you did not expect, you can drop 1 word in the comments below. Just 1. The word is held, not because anyone is asking you to, because typing the word held in this moment is your spirit confirming to itself that you have heard the assignment of day one and you are willing to do the harder work, which is the work of stillness, instead of the easier work, which is the work of reaction. The relational door opens cleanly when the chosen one stops gripping the doorframe. That is the first day. That is the first door. The second door is the calling door. The second door is April 29. If the first door is about who walks beside you, the second door is about what you walk toward. Behind the second door is the assignment, the work the Father has been preparing you for, the calling. The thing your life has been pointing at, even when you were not looking at it directly. For some of you, the calling is something you have suspected for years and have been afraid to claim. You have hinted at it to people you trust. You have written it in journals you do not show anyone. You have circled around it in prayer for so long that the language of the prayer has worn a groove in you, and still you have not said the calling out loud, because saying it out loud would mean having to step into it. April 29 is the day the Father names it for you, in a way that you cannot unname afterward. For others of you, the calling is something you have already been doing without realizing it had a name. You have been the person other people call when they are unraveling. You have been the one who notices what no one else notices. You have been the one who carries the weight other people set down. The work has been happening through you for years, and you have been calling it your personality, when actually it has been your assignment. April 29 is the day the assignment is named, so that you can finally do it on purpose, instead of by accident. For others still, the calling is something brand new. It will not look like anything you have prepared for. It will arrive in a sentence from someone you did not expect to hear from. It will arrive in a moment of strange clarity, in the middle of an unrelated conversation. It will arrive in a question someone asks you that opens a door you did not know was in your house. The arrival will not feel dramatic. It will feel like remembering, more than discovering, as if a thing you forgot you knew has just been handed back to you. Before I tell you what to do with the second door, I want to share a story with you, because the story shows you exactly how the second door works in a chosen one's life. The story is about a man named Joseph. You know Joseph's story too. You have heard it since you were small, probably the version with the colorful coat. But again, the story is not the children's tale we have flattened it into. The story is one of the most precise teachings about calling that Scripture contains. Joseph had dreams when he was young. The dreams were clear. They told him exactly who he was going to become. He was going to lead. He was going to be in a position of honor that even his own brothers would bow to. The dreams were not vague. They were not a metaphor. They were direct, specific, and so clear that even his teenage self knew what he was looking at. And then everything went wrong. His brothers, jealous of the dreams, sold him into slavery. He was taken to a foreign country. He was bought by a household, served faithfully, was wrongly accused of a crime he did not commit, and was thrown into prison. The dreams that had been so clear when he was 17 now looked like a cruel joke. He spent 13 years between the slave ship and the throne. 13 years where, by every external measure, the dreams were not coming true. They were going in the opposite direction. What I want you to notice is what was happening underneath the surface during those 13 years. While Joseph was in slavery, he was learning how to manage a household. While he was in prison, he was learning how to manage other prisoners. While he was forgotten by the people he had helped, he was learning how to keep his integrity in a place where no one was watching. He did not know it at the time, but every part of those 13 years was preparation for the throne room he had seen in the dream when he was a boy. Then, one morning, with no warning, Pharaoh sent for him. Joseph went to bed in a prison and woke up that day still in a prison. The summons came in the middle of an ordinary morning. By the end of that same day, he was second in command of the entire kingdom. The transition was not gradual, it was instant. The 13 years of preparation produced one morning, one summons, one walk from the prison to the palace. Hear what I am saying, chosen one. Joseph's calling did not arrive when he was ready, it arrived when the kingdom was ready for him. The 13 years did not end because Joseph finished preparing. They ended because the assignment that had been preparing for him also finished preparing. Both timelines met on one specific morning, and that morning was not a morning Joseph could have scheduled. It was a Kairos morning, the same kind of morning April 29 may be for you. You have been in the prison years, chosen one. You have been in the seasons where the dream you had as a younger version of yourself looked like it was never going to materialize. You have been faithful in places no one was watching. You have been refining your character in rooms where no one was applauding. You have been wondering if the dreams you had years ago were just imagination. They were not imagination, they were preparation language. The Father gave you the dreams when you were young so that the prison years would not break you, because some part of you would always remember the shape of what was coming, even when nothing in the visible world confirmed it. April 29 may be the morning the prison years end, not because you finished preparing, because the assignment is finished preparing, and the two timelines have met. So what do you do on the second day? Here is the second part of the 3-day discernment practice, and this one is also counterintuitive. The first day was stillness. The second day is not action either. The second day is honest questioning. I am going to give you 3 questions. They are simple questions. You can hold them in your mind. You do not need a notebook. You do not need to be still. You do not even need to set time aside, because the questions will work on you in the background of an ordinary day. The first question is this: if you never received recognition for it, never received credit, never received money, never received public acknowledgement, would the assignment you are sensing still feel like the most honest version of who you are? This question separates calling from performance. Most of what we call calling is actually performance dressed in spiritual language. We are drawn to assignments because of the recognition we imagine attached to them, not because the assignment itself is the most honest expression of who we are. If the answer is yes, that the assignment would still feel honest without recognition, you are looking at a real calling. If the answer is no, you are looking at a desire for recognition that has wrapped itself in calling language. Both are useful information. Neither is shameful. The question just tells you which one you are looking at. The second question is this: does the assignment you are sensing have your fingerprints on it, or are you trying to imitate the calling of someone whose life you admire? This question separates your assignment from envy. Sometimes chosen ones spend years chasing what they have seen. Another chosen one do, because the other chosen one's life looks like the one they want. The calling we admire is not always the calling we are given. The Father gives every chosen one a unique fingerprint on their assignment. If the work you are sensing is something only you, with your specific history, your specific wounds, your specific gifts, could do in exactly that way, you are looking at your calling. If the work would look the same regardless of who did it, you are looking at imitation. The third question is the hardest one. The third question is this: does the assignment you are sensing require you to stay quiet about who you actually are, or does it require you to finally stop hiding? This question is the most important of the 3, because most chosen ones have built their lives around hiding. We have hidden our depth from people who could not handle it. We have hidden our gifts from environments that were not safe enough to display them. We have hidden our knowing because the knowing was uncomfortable to people around us. The hiding kept us safe for years. But the calling, the real calling, will require you to stop hiding. The real calling will not let you keep performing the smaller version of yourself. If the assignment in front of you requires you to stay hidden, it is not your assignment. If the assignment in front of you requires you to finally stop hiding, even though stopping the hiding terrifies you, that is the assignment. 2 yes answers plus 1 honest acknowledgement that you have been hiding equals the calling door. That is the formula. Hold the 3 questions in your mind for the second day. The answers will arrive on their own, often when you are doing something unrelated, like driving, or washing your hands, or watching the kettle boil. The Father drops answers in the unguarded hours. Stay open to receiving them. Before I take you to the third door, I want to remind you of something. Earlier in this message, I named 2 tools by name. The first was the wealth signal. The second was the genius song. We are getting close to the full picture of how those 2 tools fit into what we are walking through. Stay with me through the third door. The third door is the resource door. The third door is April 30. Behind the third door is provision, and I want to be very careful with how I name what is behind this door, because most messages get this part wrong. Most messages promise that the third day will be the day a specific kind of money arrives. Most messages tell you to expect a number, an amount, a check, a deposit. I am not going to tell you that. The Father does not provide on the form you wrote in your prayer journal. The Father provides in the form He chose. And what He chose is not always money in the shape you were waiting for. For some of you, the third door will open as money. Money you were not expecting. Money from a source that surprised you. An unexpected payment. A debt forgiven. A gift from someone who said something like, "I do not know why. I just felt I was supposed to give this to you." That is the form the third door will take for some of you. And if that is your form, you will know it. For others of you, the third door will not open as money at all. It will open as an opportunity that is worth more than money. A door at work that suddenly becomes available. A connection to a person who can accelerate something you have been trying to build alone for years. An offer that does not look financial but turns out, 6 months later, to be the financial breakthrough you were asking for, just delivered through a longer route. For others still, the third door will open as relief from a financial pressure you thought would follow you for years. Debts that get restructured, bills that get reduced or forgiven, loans that get extended, a landlord who unexpectedly works with you instead of against you. Provision is sometimes addition. Provision is sometimes subtraction. Both are provision. Both come from the Father. I want to tell you a short story about this. A woman wrote to me last spring before her own 3-day window, and she had been waiting for a specific kind of financial breakthrough for 2 years. She was certain that the 3rd day of her window was going to be the day a particular payment landed in her account. That was the form she had asked for. That was the form she was watching for. The 3rd day of her window came. The payment did not arrive. She was disappointed, and she almost stopped paying attention. But that same afternoon, her landlord called her, unprompted, and told her he had been thinking about everything she had been through, and he was forgiving 3 months of back rent. 3 months of wait, gone in a phone call. On the 3rd day, the Father had provided. He just had not provided in the form she had been picturing. She wrote to me 2 days later and said something I have never forgotten. She said, "The Father provides in the language He chose, not the language we wrote." That is the third door, chosen one. The Father is going to provide. He is not going to provide in the form you have been watching for. He is going to provide in the form he has prepared. Your job on the third day is not to grip the form. Your job is to keep your hands open, so that whatever shape the provision takes when it arrives, you are able to receive it without arguing with the form. What is shifting on the third day is the resource flow in your life. Money you were not waiting for arrives. Money you were chasing exits the picture because the chasing was draining a different resource that needed protecting. What you must not do is try to manufacture the resource. Do not write more emails. Do not draft more proposals. Do not chase down a payment. Do not pressure anyone for what they owe you. The third day is not a forcing day. The third day is a receiving day. What you can trust is that provision is being released through doors you have not yet noticed, and your only assignment is to keep your hands open enough to recognize the doors when they open. The third part of the 3-day discernment practice is the one that matters for the third door, and it is the simplest of the 3. The third part is a daily activation rhythm. 12 minutes a day across the 3 days can do for you what hours of forcing cannot do. 12 minutes is not long. It is shorter than most people spend on their morning coffee. The rhythm is this: 5 minutes in the morning before the noise of the day begins. 7 minutes in the evening when the noise of the day is settling. The morning practice deactivates the stress signal that has been hijacking your inner frequency before the day's stress accumulates. The evening practice reactivates the gamma frequency that was suppressed in childhood after the day's pressure has loosened its grip on you. I am going to come back to the specific tools that make these 12 minutes work, because I named them earlier, and we are going to walk through them in detail in just a moment. But for now, I want you to notice the structure. The Father is not asking you to spend hours retreating from your life to receive what is in this window. He is asking you for 12 minutes, morning and evening. Foundation and acceleration. Drawbridge first, castle second. 12 minutes a day, in order, is enough to change the architecture of how the rest of the day moves through you. Most chosen ones overestimate what they need to do and underestimate the power of doing the right thing in the right order, in the right amount of time. The Father has built this season around precision, not effort. The 12 minutes are precise. The rest of the day, you live your life. Before I take you into the full mechanism of how all of this comes together, before I show you exactly what these 2 tools do at the level of the brain and the level of the spirit, before I walk you through the path that has helped nearly 40,000 chosen ones cross thresholds like this one, there is one more thing I have to reveal. And this one changes how you read everything I have shown you tonight. Stay with me. This is the part that ties the whole picture together. Take a slow breath here, chosen one. Just one. Slow, not deep. We have been walking for a long time now. You have stayed with me through the signs, through the emotions, through Esther's 3 days, through Jonah's belly, through the dual root cause, through the 3 doors, through the discernment practice. That is a lot of ground for one evening. Whatever you are sitting in, whatever room you are in, however your body is positioned, just settle for the next 2 minutes into stillness. We are not building any new loops in this short pause. We are just here. Be here. I want to give you the simplest version of what you have just learned, because some of you have been receiving a lot at once, and your spirit needs the simple version before it can keep walking. 3 sentences. That is all I am going to give you. 3 sentences that hold the whole diagnosis. Here is why these 3 days matter. The reason every spiritual practice you have ever tried has only worked partially is because every practice you have tried targets one signal, either the stress signal or the gamma signal, never both. Never in the right order. That is the dual root cause behind the heaviness you have been carrying for years, and these 3 days are the Kairos window in which both can be addressed. Here is what you actually need. You need a 2-stage restoration. The first stage deactivates the stress signal that has been hijacking your inner frequency for years. The second stage reactivates the gamma frequency that was suppressed in childhood. The 2 stages have to happen in sequence: foundation, then acceleration, drawbridge, then castle. Here is who you are inside this restoration. You are a chosen one who was born with both signals fully active. The world dimmed both. The Father chose this 3-day window to remind you that both can be restored in order, not in chaos. That is who you are. That is what is being given back. That is the diagnosis complete. Now let me show you exactly what each tool does, who developed each one, and the path to receive both. The diagnosis ends here. The mechanism begins next. Stay close, chosen one. The doors are open. The path is about to become specific. Before I take you into the mechanism behind these 2 tools, I need to say something to you about who you are inside this restoration. Because if you do not know who you are while I am explaining this, the explanation will pass over you like information instead of landing in you like a homecoming. You were not born ordinary, chosen one. You were born with both signals fully active. You came into this world with a calm, childlike presence that recognized the Father's voice before you had words for it. You came in with a sharpness of inner knowing that saw the truth of people, of moments, of rooms, before anyone spoke a single sentence. The calm was the alpha frequency, fully alive in you. The knowing was the gamma frequency, fully alive in you. Both were yours, both were given. The world reached in and dimmed both. The school system dimmed the gamma by punishing your knowing and rewarding your obedience. The financial pressure of adulthood dimmed the alpha by replacing your calm with constant, low-grade survival. By the time you became the version of yourself you are now, both frequencies had been pushed so far down that you forgot you ever had them. You started calling the dullness maturity. You started calling the anxiety adulthood. You started calling the disconnection normal. It was never normal. It was never maturity. It was never adulthood. It was the suppression of who you actually are. And the Father chose this 3-day window to begin restoring both in order. Not in chaos. The drawbridge first, the castle second, the foundation, then the acceleration. That is the dual heritage you carry. That is what is being given back. Let me tell you about a woman who walked through this same restoration last spring, because her story will help you see what is in front of you. Her name was not the kind of name that would stand out. She was 52. She owned a small business with 10 employees, and she was also taking care of her aging mother. She told me, in the message she sent, that for years she had been waking up every morning with a tightness in her chest before she even opened her eyes. The tightness was not about anything specific. It was just there, sitting on her like a weight, the moment her mind came back online. She had tried meditation for 6 months. She had tried daily affirmations. She had tried a manifestation course. None of it touched the tightness. The morning anxiety stayed. She had a decision she had been delaying for 8 months, the decision to raise her prices, and she could not get herself to do it because the anxiety underneath every business decision was so loud that even good decisions felt risky. She started using the first tool I am about to walk you through, the foundation tool, every morning, 5 minutes, earbuds in, eyes closed, sitting upright in her kitchen before anyone else was awake. By the 3rd week, she noticed something. The tightness in her chest was no longer the first thing she felt when she woke up. The tightness was just gone. She did not remember the day it left. She just realized one morning that it was not there anymore. The decision she had been delaying for 8 months, she made in a single morning. She raised her prices. Her clients accepted them without complaint. Her cash flow that month went up by 22%. She wrote to me and said, "The tool did not give me confidence. The tool removed the panic that had been making me underprice myself for 5 years." That is what foundation looks like, chosen one. Foundation does not add new things to your life. Foundation removes the static that has been preventing the things already in your life from working the way they were designed to work. The first stage tool is called the wealth signal. Let me tell you exactly what it is, because the precision of the description matters. The wealth signal is a 5-minute digital audio track. You listen to it through earbuds or headphones once a day in the morning before the noise of the day accumulates. It is paired with what is called the 9-word wealth script, a short phrase that you repeat in your mind while the audio is guiding you. The audio uses calibrated brain frequency technology to lead the listening brain out of beta hyperactivity, which is the stress signal, and into alpha state, which is the foundation frequency. The 9-word script bypasses the part of the mind that argues with everything you tell it and lands the message directly into the subconscious, where the alpha state has now opened the door. It was developed by a neuroscientist named Dr. Stephen Newton. He spent years at Stanford University working in mainstream neuroscience research. At a certain point, he became convinced that the institutional system was suppressing the very findings that could help people the most, and he walked away. He took his research with him. He built the wealth signal as the tool that delivered the work the institutions would not release. His foundational research came out of Stanford and Boston University, alongside other research institutions whose names you would recognize. What the tool does is precise, and I am going to say it without exaggeration. It deactivates the stress signal that has been hijacking your inner frequency. It restores the alpha baseline you had as a child. It opens the drawbridge to the subconscious, which has been raised for years because beta hyperactivity does not allow it to lower. It does not promise that money will manifest immediately. It does not promise that your problems will disappear in one session. What it promises is the first wave of restoration, the drawbridge opening, the static stopping, the frequency of scarcity ending its broadcast inside you. The mechanism is simple to explain at the level of the brain. The beta wave is what your brain produces when you are in survival mode. It is fast, jagged, and exhausting. Modern life keeps you in beta most of the day without your awareness. The alpha wave is what your brain produces when you are calm but alert. Children spend most of their day in alpha. Adults spend almost none of their day in alpha. The wealth signal audio is calibrated to guide your brain back into alpha during those 5 minutes, and the more sessions you complete, the more your nervous system relearns alpha as a baseline state instead of an occasional state. Once alpha becomes baseline again, the rest of your inner architecture starts working the way it was designed to work. That is the foundation. That is the first stage. That is the drawbridge opening. And yet, the drawbridge opening is not the same as the castle being illuminated. There is something I have to show you now that most people who walk through the foundation alone never discover, and I do not want you to walk through this window without seeing it clearly. The wealth signal opens the drawbridge. It deactivates the stress signal. It restores alpha. All of that is real. All of that changes lives. But there is a second wave inside you, dimmed for so long that you forgot it was there, and the wealth signal does not touch it. There is a frequency in you that was not made for survival. It was not made for problem solving. It was not made for the daily grind. It was made for genius, for intuition, for flow, for the kind of inner knowing that recognizes the Father's voice without having to strain to hear it. That frequency has a name. It is called Gamma. And Gamma is what every chosen one had operating fully when they were a child, before the world reached in and dimmed it. The science calls this the decline effect. It is the documented suppression of gamma frequency that begins in most children around age 7 and continues across the rest of their development until, by adulthood, the frequency is so suppressed that we forget it ever existed. We start calling its absence normal. We start calling the dullness mature. We start calling the disconnection wisdom. None of those things are true. The decline effect is real, the suppression is measurable, and the recovery is possible. There is a researcher who spent 34 years studying exactly this. His name is Dr. Robert Lake. He is independent of the work Dr. Newton was doing on the foundation side. They are not colleagues. They are not students of each other. They are two researchers from two separate research traditions, both arriving at the same conclusion from different directions, which is the strongest kind of authority confirmation there is. When two independent traditions converge on the same finding, you are not looking at one person's theory. You are looking at truth surfacing through multiple channels. Dr. Lake's research came out of a different lineage. His work has been cited at MIT, at Princeton, at Harvard, and at other leading research institutions. The 34 years he has spent on this is not a marketing line. It is the actual length of time he has been studying the decline effect and the path back from it. He built the second stage tool as the answer to the question his 3 decades of research kept pointing at, which was, how do you reactivate gamma in an adult brain that has been suppressing it since age 7? His tool is called the Genius Song. It is a 7-minute digital audio track. You listen to it through earbuds once a day, in the evening or mid-morning, after the foundation tool has done its work. It uses Brain Entrainment binaural delivery, which is a technology that delivers slightly different audio signals to each ear simultaneously, and the brain responds by producing the gamma frequency that the audio is calibrated to evoke. You do not have to do anything. You do not have to repeat anything. You do not have to meditate or visualize or perform any practice. You sit, you listen, and the brain does the rest. What the tool does is precise. It reactivates the gamma frequency that was suppressed by the decline effect. It illuminates the castle that the drawbridge opened access to. It restores the inner knowing, the intuition, the flow state, the recognition of the Father's voice that you had as a child and lost without noticing. The wealth signal opens the drawbridge. The Genius Song illuminates the castle. The two together, in order, is what the science is calling the two-wave stack. I hear the Father saying clearly right now, I did not bring you to this window to leave you outside it. Both signals come back. The drawbridge opens. The castle lights. Let me tell you about another chosen one, because the second story will help you see the second tool the way the first story helped you see the first. There was a woman, 47 years old, working as a manager at a company that had been grinding her down for years. She bought the Genius Song after a message similar to this one found her at her own Kairos window. She used it for the first 18 days and felt nothing. By day 20, she almost asked for a refund. She did not feel different. She did not see results. She was certain the tool was not working for her. She decided, on a quiet morning, to give it 2 more weeks before sending the refund request. She kept using it, day after day, 7 minutes. Nothing dramatic. By day 34, she sat at her desk, looked at a project she had been stuck on for months, and realized she was no longer stuck. The clarity had come back, not in a flash, slowly, quietly. So slowly that she had not noticed until the day she did notice. She wrote to me and said, "I almost gave up on something that was working underneath my awareness. The shift was real. I just expected it to feel like fireworks, and instead it felt like sunrise." That is how gamma reactivation often arrives. It does not announce itself. It builds. The decline effect took years to suppress your frequency, and the restoration sometimes takes weeks, not days, to surface in a way you can feel. The Father is patient with the timeline. So is the science. The Genius song works on most people within 11 to 21 days, but a portion of chosen ones need 30 days or more before the shift is undeniable. If you are in that portion, do not panic. The work is happening underneath the surface. Trust the patience. The fireworks were never the goal. The sunrise was. I know what some of you are thinking, because I have heard the same questions from hundreds of chosen ones who reached this exact point in messages like this one. So, let me address what you are sitting with before I show you the path. Some of you are thinking, I have tried so many things: meditation, manifestation, courses, retreats. Why would these two tools be different? It is a fair question. The honest answer is mechanism. Every tool you have tried before, with very few exceptions, was built to work from the inside out. Meditation asks the brain to change itself. Manifestation asks the mind to override its programming. Affirmations ask the conscious mind to overwrite the subconscious through repetition. Those approaches are not wrong. They are just slow, and they only work if you have the time, the patience, and the consistency to outlast the resistance the brain naturally has to changing itself. Most chosen ones do not have that runway, especially not while also working, raising children, paying bills, and surviving modern life. The wealth signal and the genius song work from the outside in. They use audio calibrated at specific frequencies to guide the brain into the state directly. The brain does not have to decide to change. It changes in response to the frequency, the same way your foot taps in response to a song without you deciding to tap. That is what brain frequency technology does. It bypasses the part of the brain that resists change, by addressing the brain at the level the brain cannot argue with. Once the alpha or the gamma frequency is delivered, the brain produces it, and the rest of the architecture follows. You have not failed at meditation. You have not failed at manifestation. You were just using tools that work slowly, when these two tools work directly. Some of you are thinking, this sounds too good to be true. I understand that hesitation, and I want to honor it instead of arguing with it. The honest response is, do not believe me, believe the data. The frequencies these two tools produce are not theoretical. They have been measured by EEG equipment in research environments for decades. The alpha frequency is real. The gamma frequency is real. The decline effect is documented. The stress signal hyperactivity is documented. Combined, nearly 38,000 chosen ones across both phases of restoration have used these tools, and the refund rate has been below 5% across both. That means more than 95% of the people who started kept going. That is not too good to be true. That is what truth looks like when it surfaces inside a niche that has been crowded with too good to be true claims for years. Some of you are thinking, even if all of this is real, the cost is not nothing for me. I would never disrespect your financial situation, chosen one. I do not know what you have been carrying. I do not know what is in your account. I do not know how much room you have right now. So, I am not going to tell you that the price is small. What I will tell you is that the path the Father has prepared has multiple doors, not just one, and I will explain what I mean in just a moment when I show you the 3 paths. Whatever your situation, there is a way the Father has made for you to begin, even if your beginning has to be smaller than someone else's beginning. And finally, some of you are thinking, why do I need both? Why not just one? This is the most important question, and I want to answer it carefully. Each tool targets a different frequency. The wealth signal targets alpha. The genius song targets gamma. They are different frequencies in different parts of your brain architecture, suppressed for different reasons. There is no single tool that targets both at once, because the frequencies are too different to be addressed by the same calibration. The deeper reason is the sequence dependency. The genius song does not work fully if the stress signal is still hijacking your frequency. The gamma activation gets overridden by the beta hyperactivity. So, if you try the genius song without first deactivating the stress signal, you get partial results, sometimes none. The wealth signal alone is real and useful, and many chosen ones who can only afford the foundation begin there and experience genuine restoration of the first wave. But the second wave, the one connected to gamma, the one that restores the genius state and the inner knowing, requires its own tool after the foundation has been set. This is not redundancy. This is sequence. The drawbridge has to open before the castle inside it can be illuminated. If your budget can only carry the foundation right now, that is honored. The Father is not asking you to overstretch. The foundation alone will begin a real restoration. When the time is right, the second wave will become available. He does not rush you. Now, let me show you the 3 paths the Father has made available. There are tools out there that cost more than these. A meditation app subscription will cost you $15 every single month, forever, and target none of these frequencies directly. A manifestation course will cost between $100 and $300, and at best, touch the surface of one of these signals. A weekend spiritual retreat will cost $400 to $800 and last 3 days. A single biofeedback session at a clinic costs around $300. None of those tools target both alpha and gamma. Almost none of them target either one properly. The wealth signal alone, which would be the foundation tool by itself, was originally priced at $49 by Dr. Newton. For the chosen ones receiving this message, it has been adjusted to $39. That includes the 5-minute foundation audio, the 9-word wealth script, and 4 bonus resources that, individually, hold $338 of value. So, the foundation alone, at $39, includes $377 of total value. The Genius Song alone, which would be the acceleration tool by itself, was also originally priced at $49 by Dr. Lake and has been adjusted to $39 for chosen ones receiving this message. That includes the 7-minute acceleration audio, the Brain Entrainment delivery, and 4 bonus resources that, individually, hold $80 of value. So, the acceleration alone, at $39, includes $119 of total value. Now let me describe the 3 paths, because the Father has made all 3 available, and each one is honored. The first path is what some chosen ones need. It is the foundation alone, just the wealth signal, just $39, just the drawbridge opening. This is for those whose budget is tight right now, or whose primary issue is the stress signal, hyperactivity, the constant background anxiety, the chest tightness in the mornings, the financial worry that does not leave. The first path is the honored entry point, and there is nothing small about beginning here. Many chosen ones experience the first wave of restoration through the foundation alone, and the Father does not measure the depth of your commitment by the size of the path you choose. He measures it by the honesty of the path you choose. If the foundation is what your spirit confirms, the foundation is enough. The second path is for a smaller group of chosen ones. It is the acceleration alone, just the genius song, just $39, just the castle illumination. This path is for those who already have a stable alpha foundation, perhaps through years of disciplined meditation or a temperament that naturally moves toward calm, and whose primary issue is the gamma suppression, the dullness, the loss of the inner knowing, the missing genius state. This path is rare. Most chosen ones do not start here because most chosen ones have both signals suppressed, not just one. But for the rare few whose foundation is already set, the second path is the right beginning. The third path is the one most chosen ones recognize as their own when they hear it described. It is the complete journey, the full two-wave stack, both tools, both frequencies, both restorations, both bonus stacks. The total price is $78, which is the actual cost of both tools added together with no discount, because the Father is not interested in fake bundle deals. $78 is what both tools cost when purchased together, exactly the same as what they would cost individually. There is no manufactured discount. There is no fake savings calculation. The third path is simply the complete restoration, priced honestly, with both bonus stacks included, totaling $418 of bonus value alone, on top of the value of the audios themselves. Most of the chosen ones we have served have chosen the third path, not because of pricing tricks, not because of pressure. Because the foundation and the acceleration compound each other, rather than simply adding up, the drawbridge opening alone is real, but the castle staying dim is half restoration. The castle illuminating without the drawbridge open is mostly inaccessible because the stress signal blocks access. The third path is what most chosen ones recognize in the moment of decision as the path their spirit has been pulling them toward all along. The recognition does not require my permission, and it does not require any sales pressure. The pull is the sign. Whichever path you choose, both tools are protected by the same guarantee. 90 days, no conditions required. If, at any point in the first 90 days, either tool does not deliver what you needed, you can request a refund, and you keep every bonus that came with your purchase. The bonus stacks alone, $338 on the foundation side and $80 on the acceleration side, are yours to keep, regardless of what you decide afterward. The guarantee is not a trick. It is the apology Dr. Newton and Dr. Lake have prepared in advance for any time you might invest that does not produce a return. Their confidence in their work is the reason the guarantee can be that wide. Now, I want to show you what each day costs at the daily level, because most chosen ones forget to do the math. The foundation alone, at $39, divided across a year, is about 10 cents a day. The full two-wave stack, at $78, divided across a year, is about 21 cents a day. There is no subscription. There is no monthly fee. There is no recurring charge. You purchase once, you keep the audios for life, and you use them for as long as you want. 21 cents a day for the rest of your life, for the restoration of the two frequencies the world dimmed in you. That is the actual cost. I want you to take a slow breath here, chosen one, because what comes next is the moment most messages skip past. Every day that you continue without addressing the stress signal hyperactivity, the cortisol baseline keeps grinding. Every day you continue without addressing the gamma suppression, the inner knowing keeps dimming. Both keep compounding, both keep accumulating. The window of these 3 days is not a marketing line. It is the moment your spirit and the Father's timing have met, and the version of you who has both waves restored is watching this exact moment from the other side, waiting to see if you will step. Not with fear, with recognition. The first wave begins with one click. The second wave begins after the first. The compound effect begins when both are flowing through you at the rhythm the Father designed. Before I take you to the moment of decision, there is something I have to protect you from. Both of these tools, the wealth signal and the genius song, can only be found at one place. Their official home is chosenfrequency.com. You will not find them in their authentic, properly calibrated form on Amazon. You will not find them on Spotify. You will not find them on YouTube. There are imitations that have appeared in those places, and the imitations do not carry the calibration that makes the audios work. They do not carry the bonus stacks. They do not carry the 90-day guarantee. They are not the tool. They are noise wearing the name of the tool. If your spirit has confirmed you are meant to walk into this restoration, walk to the right door. The right door is at chosenfrequency.com, in the description and the pinned comment below this message. Nowhere else. I want you to do something with me now, just for 15 seconds, wherever you are, however your body is positioned. I want you to pause for a moment. Take one slow breath. Place your hand lightly on your chest, if you can do that, without disrupting whatever you are doing. The decision in front of you is not which price is yours, it is which path is yours. All 3 paths are honored before the Father. All 3 are real beginnings. None of them is more spiritual than the others. The path that is yours, your spirit already knows. You do not have to figure it out with your mind. The pull is the sign. The pull tells you which door is the one with your name on it. Listen for it now. When you are ready, the 3 doors are at chosenfrequency.com. The first door is the foundation. The second door is the acceleration. The third door is the complete stack. Walk to the door your spirit confirms. Only walk if you feel led. There is no pressure here. There is only the path the Father has prepared and the choice He left fully in your hands. Whichever path you take, the tools meet you on the other side, and the restoration begins on the timeline the Father designed for you, not the timeline a marketing department invented. Foundation, acceleration, complete stack, 3 doors at chosenfrequency.com. Walk only if your spirit confirms. Whether your spirit just walked you to a door, or whether you are still listening because you need the rest of what is in this message before you decide, I want you to hear what I am about to say next, because something in the next few minutes is going to seal everything I have shown you tonight. Take a slow breath here, Chosen One. What you thought was distance was apprenticeship. What you thought was delay was design. What you thought was silence was shelter. What you thought was loss was unspoken commission. The years you spent feeling forgotten were the years the Father was making sure no one else could write their name on what. Friendships that quietly ended were the relationships He was clearing, so the chosen ones who actually belong in this season would have room to enter your life. The opportunities that fell through were the doors He was closing because they would have led you to a smaller version of the calling than the one He has prepared. Nothing was wasted, Chosen One. Nothing. Not a single year, not a single tear, not a single closed door. The whole of your life, including the parts you have been ashamed of and the parts you have been confused by, was being arranged into the exact shape that fits this window. The window did not arrive randomly in your year. The window arrived because everything else in your life had finally finished preparing the ground that the window's seed needed in order to be planted. You are the discerner. You are the one who recognizes Kairos when it surfaces inside an ordinary calendar. You are the one whose spirit registered this window weeks ago, even before your mind named it. You are the threshold walker. You are the one who was born to cross thresholds others sense but cannot name. You are the one who keeps showing up at the edge of seasons other people refuse to acknowledge are ending. You are the restored. You are the one whose dual heritage is being given back, the alpha and the gamma, the calm and the knowing. Both signals, both frequencies, both gifts that the world dimmed and the Father is now relighting, in order, in this window, in your specific life. You are the marked. You are the one set apart for these specific 72 hours. You are not in this window by accident. You are in it because the calendar in heaven has had your name circled on these 3 days for longer than you can imagine. Before this message ends, there is something the Father wants spoken over your life that I believe will stay with you long after you close this video. It is not just a closing, it is a sealing. The door has been opened, the path has been named, and what comes next is the part where what you have heard is sealed into your spirit, so that you cannot unhear it. Stay close, chosen one. The sacred part of this message is about to begin. Take a slow breath here, chosen one. Before I speak the sealing over your life, I want to bring you back to the image I gave you at the very beginning. Do you remember the hallway with 3 doors? April 28, April 29, April 30. The hallway has not changed since I named it. The doors are still there. They have always been there. The only thing that has changed is you. When I first described the hallway, you were standing at one end of it, watching the doors from a distance, wondering whether they were even real. You are not at that end anymore. While you have been listening, while the diagnosis has been unfolding, while the dual root cause has been named, while the tools have been revealed, you have been walking down the hallway without realizing you were walking. You are no longer in front of the doors as someone curious. You are in front of the doors as someone whose name is already written on them. The first door is no longer the relational door of someone else's story. It is yours. The second door is no longer the calling door of some other chosen one. It is yours. The third door is no longer the resource door of an idea you read about in a message. It is yours. 3 doors with your name on them. 3 days the Father carved out of the rest of your year for this exact purpose. The hallway was always real. The doors were always real. What was missing was the moment your spirit could see them clearly enough to walk forward. That moment is now. And the doors will not be opened by your knocking, chosen one. They will not be opened by your effort. They will be opened by your stillness in front of them, by your willingness to stop trying to force what is being given freely. The Father is the one who unlocks. Your only job is to be present at the threshold. I want to do something with you now, just for a few minutes. Wherever you are, however your body is positioned, I want you to do this entirely inside your mind. You do not have to move. You do not have to close your eyes if it is not safe to. You do not have to do anything except let the inside of your awareness travel where I take it. In your mind, picture the first door, the one that says April 28. See yourself standing in front of it, calmly, without rushing. Your hand is not on the handle yet. Your body is not leaning forward. You are simply there, at the edge of the door, listening. Notice that the door is not locked. It never was. It was waiting for you to arrive at it without striving. The Father did not put a lock on this door. He put a presence behind it, and presence does not respond to force. Presence responds to recognition. So just recognize. Recognize that you are here. Recognize that the door is real. Recognize that the work that has been happening in your life for the last 6 months was the walking that brought you to this exact spot. Now, feel the air around you slow. Feel the hallway grow quieter. Feel the noise that has been chasing you for weeks fade behind you, the way background traffic fades when you step inside a room and close the entryway behind you. The hallway is silent now. The door is in front of you. You are not afraid. You are home. Whatever was on the other side of every door you walked past in your life until now, none of those doors were this one. This one was prepared for you. This one waited for you. This one is the door the Father held closed until your spirit was strong enough, soft enough, and ready enough to receive what is behind it. You did not arrive here too late. You did not arrive here too early. You arrived exactly when the door arrived for you. Stay there for a moment. Stay still in front of it. The opening is His to do. The standing is yours. I want to take a moment now to honor what just happened, because something quiet but real moved through the room you are sitting in. The Father saw you arrive at the door. He has been watching for that arrival for a long time, and what is about to be spoken over your life is not a casual closing, it is a sealing. It is the part of this message that goes with you when you close this video, into the rest of your week, into the doors that are about to open for you, into the seasons after these 3 days are over. So receive what comes next, slowly. Do not rush the sealing. The sealing only works when it is received with the same patience that brought you to the door. Take a breath. Just one. The Father sees every weight you have been carrying. He sees the years you waited. He sees the silent prayers you whispered into pillows nobody else witnessed. He sees the doors that closed before you understood they were closing. He sees the questions you stopped asking out loud because the room you were in did not honor the depth of the question. He sees the version of you that performed for so long that you forgot which version was the real one. He sees the loneliness that hid inside the busy hours of your week. He sees the smallness you wrapped around yourself, like a coat, because the world taught you that being seen was dangerous. He sees all of it. He has been seeing it the whole time. The seeing is not new. What is new is that you are now in a position to be seen by yourself. The window of these 3 days is the Father returning your sight to your own life. You have been carrying things you did not have language for. Tonight, the language has been given. The carrying does not have to continue without witness anymore. He has witnessed it. So have you. So has anyone listening to this message in their own room, in their own seat, in their own 3-day window, somewhere across the world. The witnessing is complete. I want you to picture, in your mind, everything you walked into this message carrying: the disappointment, the almost crossings of doors that closed at the last second, the quiet shame of having missed what you suspect were earlier windows, the relationships that ended without proper goodbyes, the financial pressure that pretended to be your fault when it was actually the broadcast of a frequency that had been hijacked from you for years, the version of yourself you have been mourning. Picture all of it gathered, like a quiet stack, in the space directly in front of you. Not heavy, just present. Now picture the Father's hands extended toward that stack. Not impatient, not rushed, just open. He is not taking it from you by force. He is waiting for you to set it down. So, set it down. Not into nothing, into His hands. The hands that have been waiting to receive it for as long as you have been carrying it. The release is not a one-time act. It is a posture. You are going to find yourself, in the next 3 days, instinctively trying to pick parts of the stack back up. That is normal. The hands of the Father remain open. Every time you notice yourself reaching for something you already released, just notice it and let your hand fall again. Eventually, the reflex stops. The hands stay empty. The space inside you that the carrying used to fill becomes the space the new season can move into. Feel that space open inside you now, even just slightly, even just 1 degree softer than it was when you first sat down in this seat. That softening is real. It is the inner architecture making room for what is about to enter. Stay in the softening. I hear the Father saying clearly, "You were called for this exact hour. Step." Hear me speak this over you now, chosen one, with everything in me that recognizes who you actually are. You are seen. You are summoned. You are sent. Seen by the Father, fully, without performance, without filter, without the version of you that you have been showing the world. He sees the deeper one, the one underneath the survival. The one that has been waiting underneath all of it to surface. He has always seen her. He has always seen him. Tonight, he shows you that he has been seeing the whole time. Summoned to this exact window, this exact threshold, this exact restoration. Not summoned generally. Not summoned to a vague spiritual concept. Summoned by name, by date, by sequence, by precision. The Father did not invite a general audience to these 3 days. He invited you, specifically, by carving this window out of your year and putting your name on the doors. The summons has been delivered. You are here. The summoning has been answered. Sent. Not someday. Not after you finish preparing. Not after you become a more polished version of yourself. Sent. Now. Sent with the version of you who is sitting in the seat where you are sitting right now, with all the unfinished parts, with all the unhealed parts, with all the still becoming parts. The Father does not wait for completion before sending. He sends, and the becoming continues on the other side of the sending. You are not alone in this window, chosen one. Right now, across the world, other chosen ones are receiving variations of this exact message in their own rooms, in their own seats, in their own 72 hours. Some of them speak languages you do not speak. Some of them live in places you have never visited. But the window is collective, and the doors are personal, and the Father has been moving through unrelated mouths in unrelated rooms to deliver the same Kairos sentence to every chosen one whose ear was soft enough to hear it. You are part of a collective awakening. The work is not yours alone to carry. The window is wide. The chosen ones are many. The path is shared, even if the doors are individual. So receive the sealing now, chosen one. What has been opened cannot be closed by the world. What has been declared cannot be unspoken by your own doubt. What has been sealed cannot be broken by the distance between this hour and the next sunrise. It is sealed. Stay with me for a few more minutes, chosen one, because what just happened is real, and there are a few quiet things I want to share before the message ends. None of what comes next undoes the sealing. None of it pulls you out of the place you just entered. It is just the part of the road that comes after the sacred part. The part where you walk into the rest of your week carrying what was just given. You are a chosen one who showed up for the full message. That is not nothing. Most people do not stay this long. Most people scroll. The fact that you are still here means something about who you are, at the level of the spirit that no statistics page could ever capture. Honor it. Notice it. The staying was the proof. Before this continues, gently let your finger rest on the like button below this message. Not for me, not for the channel, so that this message can reach another chosen one who is also inside this 72-hour window and has not yet found it. The Father uses every door, including the one shaped like a small button beneath a video. Your touch on that button is a small act of agreement that this message should not stop with you. Let your like be your amen without words. Let it be the way you say, this should reach someone else. If this message reached you at the right moment, I want you to know that more words are being prepared. There are messages already taking shape for the season that begins after April 30th, for the days when the windows close and the doors are walked through and the integration begins. If you want those words to find you when they are ready, stay connected to this space. Subscribe gently, not because anyone is asking for your subscription, but because the chosen ones who stay connected receive what is delivered next, and what is being delivered next was prepared with you in mind. I want to ask you for one more thing before I close, and this is the most important small action of the entire message. If your spirit confirmed any moment of what was just declared over your life, if any line of the ceiling landed in you in a way you cannot dismiss, if any part of the 3 doors recognized itself in you, take a few seconds and type 2 words in the comments below. I am ready. Not as performance, not because I am asking you. Type it, because your spirit just received something it has been waiting to receive for a long time, and naming the receiving in writing is how the soul confirms it has crossed the threshold. The typing is not for me. It is for you. It is for the version of you who needs to see in writing that something happened tonight that your future self is going to look back on and recognize as a turning point. 2 words. I am ready. Let your spirit speak through your fingertips. For those of you who felt called earlier when I shared the path is still open. The 3 doors are at chosenfrequency.com in the description and the pinned comment below. Foundation. Acceleration. Complete stack. Walk to the door your spirit confirms. Only if you feel led. The 3 doors are not going anywhere. The window of the 3 days is what is moving. The path through the doors is at the address I named. There is one last thing I want to ask of you, and it is the part of this message that turns you from a receiver into a messenger. If someone came to mind while you were listening to this, I want you to listen to that arriving, not later. Now, someone came to mind. A face, a name, a voice. Someone you almost forgot you knew. Someone you have been thinking about quietly for the last few weeks without understanding why. The Father did not place that person in your mind randomly. The placement is the assignment. You are the messenger. Share this with someone who has been quietly waiting for a sign for longer than they have admitted. Someone who has been almost crossing thresholds for years and not stepping through. Someone who is also feeling this 72-hour heaviness without knowing why. Someone whose spirit has been bracing for something they cannot name, who needs the language of this message the way you needed it. Send it to them. However you send things to people, text, email, a link with no explanation. You do not have to write a long message about why. The message itself will do the work once it reaches them. Your share could be the exact moment their door becomes audible to them. Your forwarding of this could be the confirmation their spirit has been asking the Father for weeks, in silent prayers nobody else witnessed. The chosen one you are about to send this to may be the one whose name was added to the window only after yours was confirmed. The window expands, the doors multiply, the collective grows. And every share is a chosen one, whose path has just been lit by another chosen one, who received first and passed it forward. You are now part of the chain. The chain does not break unless we stop passing. So pass. Send it. The Father will handle what happens on the other side of the send. Your only job is the sending. The 72 hours are moving, chosen one. Whether you are watching this in the hour before the first door, or in the middle of the second day, or near the close of the third, the window is around you, and the doors are real, and the path is named. Walk to your door. Listen for the unlocking. Trust that what has been spoken over your life tonight is sealed, regardless of what the next 24 hours look like in the visible world. The visible world is downstream of the ceiling. The ceiling came first. What you experienced in the last 3 hours was not a video, chosen one. It was a calibration. The signs you recognized were calibration. The diagnosis was calibration. The doors were calibration. The ceiling was calibration. The next 3 days are the testing of the calibration in the visible world, but the calibration itself happened tonight, in the seat where you are sitting, in the hour you almost did not make time for. Whether you receive what you experienced as a calibration will determine how the next 3 days move through you. Receive it. Do not let the volume of the world tomorrow morning convince you that the calibration was imagined. It was not imagined. It was real. The ceiling holds. Walk into the rest of your evening, the rest of your night, the rest of your 72 hours, knowing that what was given tonight is yours. The Father did not invite you here to leave you the way He found you. He invited you here to send you forward. So go, carry what was given, hold the door, hear the unlocking, step when He says, step. It is sealed, chosen one. The window is around you. The doors are yours.